Welcome back. We're now going to talk a little bit about the creation of this earth. We had no idea how much planning would go into preparing this world. But as we learned about physical matter in the universe, we began to understand that not just any rock in space would suffice for us to experience physicality. The world would have to be capable of supporting life, not just our lives, but a myriad of different life forms for us to learn what we needed to learn to become wise stewards of our bodies, our environment, and the world. We learned about physics, chemistry, and biology from the subatomic to the planetary, from the minuscule to the galactic. The world would need sources of light and heat, as well as a means of cooling. It would need an atmosphere and a climate conducive to supporting life. It would need to have seasons during which plants could grow, and seasons in which the soil could rest and be rejuvenated. The life forms would need to exist in a sustainable biosphere that complied with the predictable laws of nature in order for mankind to exercise some level of dominion and control. And when the planning was complete, the physical world began its formation. Matter surrounding a small star in the expanding universe was organized into a fiery liquid mass whose crust gradually cooled as it was placed in an orbit surrounding the star. Over the ages, the cooled crust would result in a surface temperature that would support life instead of burning it. The mass was set with a slightly biased rotation base relative to the star, allowing for seasonal fluctuation in temperatures, as well as regular periods of light and darkness, with corresponding radiational heating as the surface was exposed to light and heat from the star, and darkness and cooling as the surface rotated into its own shadow. As the planetary crust began to form, the thin crust was susceptible to the impact of meteors and comets breaking through the surface into the molten core, or volcanic activity as the core exploded through the surface. These cataclysms resulted in a thick cloud of volcanic ash surrounding the planet until the crust cooled and thickened enough to resist the penetrations from above and beneath the surface. A gaseous atmosphere of hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen, and even some toxic gases, evaporated from the cooling mass and was retained by the gravitational forces so that it did not drift off into space. The thick cloud of ash and gas thinned and grew both transparent in the dark of night and reflective in the light of day, as the heavier elements eventually drifted back to the Earth's surface, revealing the celestial bodies surrounding the Earth, the sun, the moon, other planets, and the stars. Some of the hydrogen and oxygen combined to form water, which also aided in cooling the crust. As the surface cooled, forms of intelligence capable of organizing physical matter into single-celled organisms were first sent to the planet, followed by gradually increasing intelligences which organized increasingly complex life forms from the chemical elements available in the water and on the Earth. What some would one day refer to as evolution of species was actually a very carefully planned process designed to build a sustainable complex biosphere by sending increasingly complex intelligences to the planet to form the microbes, plants, fungi, and insects, fishes, birds, and animals as they existed on the day our human ancestors were first placed on the Earth. Next, we will talk about history as we know it.